Nithyanandam. This is Srinithya Maya Tithananda and welcome to NTV News from Nithyananda Dhyanapidam in Bidadi. It's Tuesday, October 25th, 2011. Let's take a quick look at NTV headlines. In today's morning Bhagavad Satsang Swamiji discusses the potential divinity of human beings.
Going beyond the delusion. Yadate moha kalilam, that is the key word in this verse.
Swamiji delivers Jataara agni Kriya. Temple schedule for the upcoming festivals Diwali and Skanda Shasti. 35,000 temples to be restored. And for the main news. In today's talk on Bhagavad Gita, chapter 2, 52nd verse, Swamiji discusses the potential divinity of human beings. We are like plants that have been wrapped in plastic. We have lost our clarity, being distracted by our mortal experiences. As long as we limit our understanding and accept the delusion that nothing exists beyond our daily well-being, we also restrict our evolution. Becoming aware that every struggle is actually a spiritual struggle for enlightenment, we can transform our life. Swamiji tells us with compassion that every inhalation is a demand for life. So let us make it as well a demand for enlightenment. The thirst for life and the thirst for liberation are the same thirst. We can quench them simultaneously.
Human being is a great potential bound by distracting, deluding, kind of a net, prison. Your smallest unit is struggling to break from the delusion. In body level, that struggle is to get rid of disease and death. In the mental level, that struggle is to get rid of depression and disorders. In the conscious level, that struggle is to get rid of the delusion and achieve enlightenment. I am not bringing theologia mystica to theology light. I am taking theology light to the theologia mystica. I wanted all of you to understand. Run your life based on theologia mystica. Every struggle you go through straight to the ultimate purpose. Here Bhagavan is making a statement. You shall be indifferent to what has been heard and what is yet to be heard. You go beyond the sacred knowledge that has been ascertained and has to be ascertained. If you heard me last 10 years and look back, throughout the 10 years, I am talking only one thing: be unclutched, be unclutched, be unclutched. I am constantly diverting you to you. The knowledge which again and again emphasizes working on you is theologia mystica.
Satsang ended with Jataara agni Kriya. Today's Kriya is beneficial for digestion disorders and also to awaken the Kundalini energy. Swamiji recommended this Kriya to be done during pregnancy and of course guided by Swamiji, either by being in his direct presence or through video conferencing. So visit our nearest Satsang center, be directly guided by Swamiji himself and get all the benefits from the Kriyas.
Today let me start with the first Kriya, Jataara agni Kriya, Nitya Kriya for digestion and Kundalini awakening. Please understand, when I teach you this Kriya, if you are doing it directly under my supervision, means if I am able to see you, this Kriya works as a process also, means Kundalini also will be awakened intensely. If you are doing it on your own, learning from my discourses or videos. It works like a technique. Now we are entering into the exact technique. In Hatha Yoga Sutras, 3rd chapter, 10th verse. By locking the throat and retaining the breath, the prana rises straight, just like a snake beaten with a stick becomes straight. Understand? Lock your tongue, push the tongue towards the upper palate, hold as long as possible.
If you missed any of the talks, you can watch it again on NTV or download these discourses from our website nithyananda.org. Bhagavad Gita in Tamil is retelecast every day at 10 a.m. and 5 p.m. Indian Standard Time. In other news, tomorrow on October 26th, two festivals are commencing at Dhyanapidam Ashram. Diwali, the festival of light, and Skanda Shasti Brahmotsavam. Skanda Shasti is dedicated to the second son of Lord Shiva, Lord Subramanya, also known as Kartikeya, Kumaresha, Guha, Murugan, Shanmuga and Velayudan, who on this day is believed to have annihilated the mythical demon Taraka. Lord Subramanya is an embodiment of perfection, a brave leader of God's forces and a war god who was created to destroy the demons, representing the negative tendencies in human beings. Skanda Shasti commemorates the destruction of evil by the Supreme Being. Skanda Shasti festival will start at 9 a.m. by Swamiji tying Raksha Bandhan, sacred thread, around the wrist of Lord Subramanya. Also tomorrow, all-night Kali Puja and Chandi Homa will be offered in Sri Anandeshwara temple starting from 9 p.m. Let us take a quick glance at the temple schedule for the upcoming festivals. From October 27th to October 30th, Shatura Samhara Trishati Homa will be offered in Sri Anandeshwara temple commencing at 11 a.m. From 4 to 5 p.m. there will be Abhishekam done to Subramanya Murti. On October 30th, we will have procession of Subramanya at 6 p.m. from Rajya Sabha to temple and back to Rajya Sabha. On October 31st, there will be Shatura Samhara at 11 a.m. on the Vaidya Sarovar grounds. Procession starts from the temple and Samhara takes place in Vaidya Sarovar and the procession returns to the temple. Abhishekam to Subramanya with Valli and Deivanai is scheduled for 9:30 to 11 a.m. followed by Kalyanotsavam from 11:30 to 12:30 p.m. and finally Radhotsavam of Valli Deivanai Sameda Sri Subramanya at 6 p.m. More about the temple activities we will inform you in the following news. From the other medias, 35,000 temples to be restored. Times of India on October 25th. The collapse of Bapatla Bhavanarayana temple Gopuram has prompted the government to launch a new drive to conserve temples across the state. A project started by Endowments Department in 2010 for conservation of various temples in the states will now be revived in November. As many as 35,000 temples have been identified as having historical value with the help of Archaeological Survey of India and the State Archaeology Department. We have about 50,000 temples in the state. 70% of them are historic importance. The Endowments Department will take up conservation activities so that we do not lose any heritage structures, said a Ramanamurthy, a conservationist with the department. The first restoration work will start with Sri Kalahasti Temple, Chittur, the Gopuram of which collapsed in May 2010. The initial survey of this temple has already been done and restoration measures have also begun, officials said. Any sort of conservation activity will have to be monitored by officials who are well versed in UNESCO conservation guidelines, architects said. And as we already announced, from tomorrow NTV will start telecasting new morning programs. It will start with Suprabhadam at 5:30 am Indian Standard Time. Tune in tomorrow morning and see what else we have prepared for you. And that's all from us for tonight. Before we end our news, let's hear a quote from Swamiji. The master shows you the path because he has already tried it and succeeded. Thank you for joining us and tune in for tomorrow's updates on NTV Nithyananda.